series for 3 years that was really hard to do. But I still loved having a place to go every day. And I think that for me is just, as an actor, that's a really wonderful thing. That's one of the things I really enjoy about series television. That's you get to shoot for 8 months. I think if I was doing films right now, I could only do 1 or 2 films a year. I think those time gaps would drive me nuts. I'm too fancy. I like to work. So I enjoy that pace. Yes? No, I had, I just fortunately my athletic ability and some dance background helped in that, and I guess getting beaten up a lot. No, I didn't, and to be honest, I didn't really have a lot of respect for the martial arts. I thought it was a small guy's complex, like weightlifting. And I was sadly mistaken. I really have learned that it is a way of life. It's a philosophy, it's a religion. And I've had trainers on set. We have trainers every day. So the last 2 years I've learned how to do absolutely everything. I was just showing the girls some stuff in my trailer before we came. We did a whole... Am I an idiot? You set me up. I showed them some footage from yesterday. I was fighting, did a whole fight with a hockey stick yesterday. We did it all in martial arts style. So I've learned a great deal about it. So that's been a real benefit. Yes?
So are you saying there's no stunt double? You do all your own?
I have the world's most bored stunt double. Poor guy. Steve Luchescu blew his knee out this year, who's been my stunt double, and I have a new Brian Jagursky is his name, and he look a lot alike. But Brian was just saying, geez, he does the rehearsals, and I'm doing the filming. The reason I do it, I'll tell you why I do it all that, because I know Colleen hates this. Is because I think if we had a budget of $1.5 million a week as opposed to about 700,000, we could afford to make those fight scenes work with the double. But because we don't have the time, that means that we've got to shoot master. And then what robs you people is that you can't get the camera in close to see. And I know the fight scenes aren't. We cannot compete with a Seagal or Van Damme movie. We just don't have that budget. So I like the camera to be in tight, watching me go through it anyway. And therefore I have to do it. And I don't mind doing it. But that way the camera can be here. If it's shooting a stunt double, it's got to be here. And let's see what Peter's thinking, what he's going through. Let's see that movement. That's why I do it. And it hurts. Like I tell you, I separated my shoulder last year diving over a car because I got my hand stuck in my pocket. I dove and I got my hand stuck, and it was either here or here. And, I do get injured, but once you heal and if you love it, it doesn't bother you that much. Anybody else? Okay, go ahead.
The episode May I Ride With You, the original one, with the baby and the woman with the stroller, do they have to be Karen and Quinn?
And I tried to get Quinn on May I Ride With You too. That was Karen and Quinn. Yeah, and my wife, who is, this business is new to her, she said, she's a high school teacher and just such a sweet person anyway, she said to me, 3 things that all actors say. She said, as soon as she finished, and all she did was push a stroller. Push the stroller down, I took the baby away from her. And anyway, when she was done, she said, how was I? She said 3 questions. She said, how was it? I said, you're great. She said, how how much do I make? I said, $75. She said, do I get lunch? So that was, Quinn is now looking a lot different than the bald-headed version you saw.
Drums yet?
Pardon?
Is she playing David's drums yet?
No, that's my other daughter. You know a lot about me. Yes.
You sort of answered the question before, but I was wondering if in your contract last year, it was, you had to be slapped X amount of times either by your father or by ex-girlfriends. Did they take advantage of it?
Come on, Captain Ida. That was, see, this is a job within a job sometimes. Dave's an unpredictable guy, and that started out, and that hurt. And unfortunately, we had a director that week that went, he went, I love it. He went, do we love it? Do we love it? And the crew was going, yeah, we love it. And yeah, he began that. And it was to sink the lesson in. But Dave stopped. It did it to a couple of people who didn't love it, didn't understand it, and we stopped with that. But no, that wasn't in the contract. That was just a piece we had worked out. So,
Have you got a favorite episode that you've done?
May I Ride With You was one of my favorites, and geez, Barda was a pretty demanding episode. I had heart palpitations in that at one point. I'd go to some places that were awful strange. And some episodes turned out, there was one called about the little Chinese girl with a secret, with the box, with the cricket inside. That was a show that really surprised me because it took us forever to film that. We ran out of time. It was the second episode we ever filmed. And anyway, that one really I liked. I like Dragon's Wing was fun because of the guys that were in it, and I had to make sure I wasn't standing there like. And we do have an episode coming up that we're going to start filming next week. It's a Western that we're bringing back all the Western stars from Warner Brothers. Just guy, yeah, Clint Walker's in it.
Jack Kelly?
Don't know if Jack Kelly's in it or not. He's not in it. And also we have John Wayne's son, and listen to me, John Wayne's son, Patrick Wayne, is on the show next week. Next week is The Fugitive, basically, and Peter's in trouble. Big time. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Yes?
I missed the point. They go back to that. The action is okay, more or less for the guys
Yeah,
and the
sure.
kids. But I like the
Well,
meditation, the flashbacks.
we've moved that, Kuno. David does have a studio. Yeah, we have that.
But
We don't have all the
it's
kids
to
trained.
exercise.
No, he stopped
I know once.
street counseling.
You were doing some Tai Chi.
Yeah.
If they have more of that in the script, it's more interesting, and also more flashbacks. This season there are less flashbacks, I've noticed.
Well, there aren't for the third season.
There aren't any.
No. I'm saying there are more in the third season. Yeah. Because it's flashing back like crazy.
They give us a character,
I agree with you. I think you're right. There are things about it. You test different ground, I think, as a writer and a producer, and I think that's one of the things that we were doing in the second season, trying to find that thing that was working with the largest audience. Obviously, is what they're trying to do. But I think I'm proud of our audience.
There's so many different aspects to the show that anybody can relate to.
There are a lot of inside jokes in the show too. Is Dragon's Wing 2 come out yet? No. Well, there's a line in Dragons Me 2 where Patrick McNee says, he and I are walking through and talks us into this beautiful ball, and I say, who is that guy? And he says, well, he's not exactly a saint. And it turns out that it's Ian Ogilvy who played the saint. Michael writes a lot of that TV history into his episodes that I don't even get. Well, that was, Bill said the grasshopper joke in the bar. There's a lot of that type of thing. Yes?
I would really like you to thank whoever is in charge of it. I noticed that a lot of the times, all of the actors will also be quoting previous episodes. And it's really nice to see that the people who are writing it remember that the characters are going to remember things that happened last year. And it's really nice for the audience to get that.
Well, that is something that we all do talk. We talk about the writers, myself and David, and that is, don't insult the audience here. People watching are remembering, so you don't have to insult them. Let's, and maybe that's too corny. Let's change that. So yeah, we're conscious of that, but it's difficult because some of our fans. I know one in particular who should be writing the show. Somebody can just pick out every single little thing. And this person wrote to me one day and said, when you tripped going out, your foot sunk into the ice going out of the car. Notice how you kept your balance and didn't. They went into this detail. I don't know how that person knew that I did that because the camera was here, and that's exactly what happened. I hardly moved. Anyway. Yes.
When are we going to find out about Peter's mother?
Oh.
Quite honestly.
Well, I don't know. Is that something you want to know more about?
Yeah.
I'd like to know more about it too. I've created one in my head, but I as an actor, you do that. But and I wasn't happy in the Bardo with the way she was represented. I know Michael Sloan thought that was the best episode we'd ever done, but I didn't. But the way she was represented in that, I didn't like, and it's difficult because we're not given a lot of background on her, so I'd like to get more myself. Maybe we will. I don't know. I guess I can't answer your question. Does anybody need a drink or a? Yeah, let's. Why don't I shut up and I'll come around and meet people. You can see if I'm as tall as you thought I was, or whatever. Thank you.
Can you read this? Here.